Okay, welcome back, and now we're going to talk about characteristics, some properties of angles, characteristics of angles that we can use to help us solve different scenarios. Okay, so I've drawn a couple of lines that intersect, and so I've labeled each of the four angles. Now, one set of angles is called vertical angles. Vertical angles are angles that are opposite each other when you have two intersecting lines. Okay, so for example, angles 2 and 4 are vertical angles. Also, angles 1 and 3 are vertical angles. They're opposite each other. So what do we know about vertical angles? Vertical angles are equal, or what we call congruent. So vertical angles are equal measure. They have equal measure. So that's what we mean by when we use the term congruent. They're angles that are equal in measure. Okay. By the way, just so you know, when we measure two angles are equal or congruent, which means that they have the same angle, we don't care the length of their sides. The length of the sides doesn't matter. It's what the angle of the measurement between the two sides. Okay. Okay. Now the other type of angles that we are going to talk about are called adjacent angles. Okay. Now adjacent angles, again, are angles that are next to each other. Adjacent means next to. So when we say adjacent angles, for example, 1 and 2 are adjacent angles. 2 and 3 are adjacent angles. 4 and 3 are adjacent angles. And of course, 1 and 4 are also adjacent angles. So what do we know about adjacent angles? We know that adjacent angles, when we have two lines intersecting, then adjacent angles always add up to 180 degrees, which means that they are supplementary. So adjacent angles are supplementary, which means they add up to 180 degrees, or a straight angle. Okay? And so those are the two things we're going to talk about in this video. And so we can use that to our advantage when we are given information about one angle. We can use that information and along with the characteristics of vertical angles and adjacent angles to get the rest of the measurements. Have a great day.